Now, the second consideration when putting together a presentation is you need to identify your purpose. In other words, answer the question, why are you talking to us anyway? What are you trying to accomplish, right? In other words, like, leave us alone, right? I mean, you know, giving a speech, giving a presentation, it doesn't happen spontaneously. You know, you're not just walking down the street one day and you're suddenly like, I'm going to start talking about stuff. No, that's weird. That's weird. You know, when you are asked to give a presentation, you are going to be asked to do something in particular. And you need to find out what that is. You know, maybe you are trying to increase somebody's knowledge. Maybe you're trying to increase their understanding. Maybe you're trying to increase their awareness. Maybe you're trying to convince them to take some kind of action, to change in some way. Maybe you're there to inspire, to motivate. Maybe you're there to set an agenda. What are you trying to do? And this is something else that we tend to forget. What are we trying to accomplish? Now, figuring out what you're trying to accomplish will ultimately help you figure out, well, what do you say during this presentation? Like, if you're trying to increase somebody's knowledge, you can assume they know very little about the topic, so you want to give them basic background information. If you're trying to increase their understanding, you can assume they know quite a bit about the topics. You don't want to waste their time going back over the basics. No, you can go more in depth, more in detail. If you're trying to increase their awareness, well, you need to stress the importance. This is why you need to know this. This is why this is important. If you're trying to convince, we'll give them some kind of action they can take. Inspire, motivate. What are you trying to accomplish? We tend to forget this. Now, like I said, I worked in the corporate world for a number of years before I entered the educational world. And I had a high school colleague of mine who is working at a corporate training company. I mean, the whole purpose of this company is they go into other companies and they offer training, ways to improve communication, ways to improve leadership, ways to improve, you know, team building, all that kind of good stuff. If you worked anywhere in a job, you may have gone through some of these type of sessions. And this colleague of mine, or this former classmate of mine, when she found out that I was working in education, she got all excited. She's like, you know, we're doing the same kind of stuff. She told me all about this presentation she gave where she took her guitar. And the people at this company, she had them come up with a song, you know, based on another tune, but come up with a song like all the company's values and put the lyrics together. And she said it was really fun. It was really entertaining. It was enjoyable. And I'm like, okay, but what were you trying to teach them? What was the point? I mean, there's nothing wrong with entertainment, but honestly, why waste our time if you're not giving us information that's useful and beneficial? So nothing against her job, but I mean, just, you know, doing something like that, you know, taking the values of the company and creating like a song about it, that to me isn't something that I need to know. That's not going to help me improve, not going to help me do my job better or whatnot. I mean, I can open the floodgates and ask you, have you been in those situations where you had to sit through presentations or whatnot, and you're like, what is the point of this? Why am I listening? They didn't make the reason clear to you. Like tonight, I'm trying to increase your knowledge, your understanding about how to become better oral communicators. You know, so that's another thing, the second consideration, what are you trying to do? Now, you know, you can't have that attitude about all training because we always have so much to do. You know, there are trainings, there are things that you have to sit through that will, the purpose is to benefit you, is to help you improve, to help you get better, to kind of remind you. So the time, waste of time, yeah, you don't want to waste time. Nobody wants their time wasted or whatnot. But, you know, trying to identify the purpose, you know, what are you trying to accomplish? And this should be your guide whenever you create a presentation. Like, what are you trying to do? All right? So the first two steps in the process, figure out who you're talking to make sure that what you say is going to be useful and beneficial. You know, so you don't talk over their head or insult them by talking down to them. And then figure out what you're trying to accomplish. You know, are you trying to increase their knowledge? Give them basic background information. Trying to increase their understanding? Go more in depth, more in detail. Trying to increase their awareness? Stress the importance of the topic. You know, convince people to make a change, do something different. You know, maybe you are there to inspire, motivate. So identify your purpose.